it's very common when you test your game that you have a flat ground like this. So this is pretty much the same. The first principle I wanna share with you is that never make your ground flat. Always have some kind of elevation, even if it's a small bump. You will feel that it feels a little bit different. So for example, let me go here to the sculpt mode and just reduce the brush size, and let's just sculpt something like this. So let's play again, and you will see that as soon as I play, even though it's the same, it feels a little bit more fun. So whenever you can always add some small bumps here and there, and not only they can go up, they can also go down, and this will just make everything less repetitive. When you have something like this, it just feels very boring. But as soon as you have a little bump here, then suddenly everything feels a little bit different, right? So you can take it to the next level. What you can do is actually go here to the landscape, go to the ramp, and click here and here, for example. This will create a ramp for me. Let me increase the value, something like that. Okay, I'm gonna click enter. And then what I'm gonna do here is something I like to do a lot, is go to the flatten tool here, and then I'll just flatten this area. So I will just create a big platform here based on the height that I created on the ramp. So I can just go here, smooth things out, and then I will have a ramp. Okay, so let's play our game, and you will see that I can just go up. And what you will notice that as soon as I go up, when I look down, you will feel like it has some sense of depth, and that's called verticality. Like you can have like these areas where you can look down upon. I'm sure you have played Elden Ring. There are many areas where you can just look down to see if you can jump or not, and it just adds so much variation. So what you can do actually is just play a little bit with this. Like you can even go for a ramp here just to go down, just like that, and then smooth things out just a little bit, just so that you can go down. Let's put our player here. Okay, well, that's not what we want. Let's just move this guy, put it here, and there you go. So now I can just go up. And sometimes this may feel a little bit long. Like if you feel like it's a little bit long or something, it applies the same principle we just talked about, like it's too flat. So you need to break it down a little bit or just make it shorter, right? So that's one thing to keep in mind. And you can just go down here, and eventually you will find a way down. That takes us to the next principle, which is always have a way to go back. So for example, let's just say there is a chest here. Let's put a cube. Let's put a, there we go, shape. Let's put a white cube. Let's just say this is the chest that we want to get. And as soon as you get here, you don't really want to go pretty much the same direction here. Like you start from here and then you go back. You always have a way to go back to where you started. So what you can do actually is just, for example, create paths like this. Like you can create a run, for example, from here to here. Let's just put it like this. And now when you get this, you can actually go back, and you can just, I can just sculpt here. So I can create like some walls, some kind of walls, something like this, right? So that I can limit the space where I can play, something like that. And I can just increase the tool strength. And there you go. So now I have some walls here. And what I can do is to basically guide the player just to go back here. So let's play the game again, and you go up, and then you will see that you also have a way to go down. So let's say you get the item, you get the chest, right? And then you go back down, and then you can just go back to where you were. What you don't want is just to, grab the chest and then just go back all the way around. It's just not really, really good design. Now, another thing that I can share with you is this part is a little bit boring. So what you can do actually is to, spice things up a bit. Try to, for example, in long bridges, it happens things like this where the bridge is too long and the player needs to walk a long distance. What you can do is some kind of like a platform like this and then a platform like that. So let's just say I wanna erase this area. So I'm gonna go for something like this, right? For something like this, and also I'm gonna let me try to erase this area. No, never mind. This is just something like that, and then I'm gonna go for the ramp. Make it just like this. There you go. And then suddenly, like, I just go back here, and I need to force the player to go back to the right. So what I can do here is to actually make a flatten, just reduce the radius, just put it like this, just like that, right? So what I have here is now the same platform, but now instead of just going straight the whole way, I can just turn right here and then kind of force the player to use your brain a little bit. And then I can just find the chest. I find the chest and I find another way around just to go back to where I was. So that's good level design. That's something like good level flow. So the last tip I want to give to you is always have a focal point. The focal point is basically your objective. You can have multiple objectives in your game, or you can have a main objective. Like for example, in Legend of Zelda, there is this big area where you need to go, but it's too hard to go there, so you need to explore a little bit more. But for example, a good way to do that is just to, let's just create some shapes here, some cylinder. Let's just make it really big and tall. Something like that. And we can just duplicate it here. And let's just say this is our, and usually for this kind of shapes, like you wanna have like multiple different shapes so that you can recognize that this is the main path. So whenever you play your game, you will see your main objective the whole time. Usually it's very big, not necessarily. The idea is that it's very very obvious to go there. So the way now that you have your objective in mind, you can design the paths. Like for example, you can put a ramp here, put it something like this, and then you can just do the flatten tool again. As you can see, I'm playing with those tools over and over again. I can just flatten here, and then I can just do the ramp once again, and then can do another one. And if it's too long, you can always break it just like we did before. And you can just go something like this, and then go for the flatten tool. And then, you can increase the size of this. Have to do it exactly like me, but just to get the point across. And then you can smooth things out just so that it's easy to navigate. So the way I play my game now is like, oh, that's my main objective and I need to move around. I have these small areas where I can just move here left, right, up and down, and then I see the main objective and I see like the object I want to grab. I grab it and I can always come back if I want it, and always like I can see a path there. Oh, I need to go there, but I don't know. So you get close to here, it's like, oh, so now there is a path here. Then you just go here. And now again, same principle. If this is too long, you can always break it a little bit just so that the player needs to go left and right. You always want to keep the player busy, not only just go straight in a line. That's too boring. So as soon as you get here, like you will see that you arrive to your main objective. And here maybe there is, you finish the level and you can put a pause or something. So to recap, always put elevation up and down. Don't make everything flat. Find a good level flow. If you come here to, don't create dead ends. Dead ends are really bad. Like, always have a way to go back to where you were before. You don't want to punish the player for doing something. And then just, always have a main objective and be clear. The way you're clear is by creating these shapes, and these are imaginary lines that guide the player to where you want to see, right? So these lines are also very, very important. And you create those lines by, just creating some paths. And they can be more obvious when you move the line in a little bit with Control L. So you can create this sharp line here, and everything just becomes much more interesting. So if you like this type of videos, let me know in the comments what kind of video you want to watch next. And if you like this type of short tutorials, just let me know and I will keep doing those. So hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you next one. Bye.